Judge dismisses Trump administration lawsuit against Chicago sanctuary laws. What it means. In a significant legal development, a judge in Illinois has dismissed a lawsuit initiated by the Trump administration that aimed to challenge the restrictions Chicago has placed on the collaboration between local police and federal immigration authorities. This ruling, made on July 25, 2025, underscores the ongoing tensions surrounding immigration enforcement in the United States. What you need to know. The lawsuit, which was filed back in February, claimed that Chicago's sanctuary laws were obstructing federal efforts to enforce immigration regulations. The administration argued that these local laws were in direct conflict with federal statutes by limiting the ability of local governments to share immigration-related information with federal law enforcement. This, they contended, hindered immigration agents from identifying individuals who could potentially face deportation. Judge Lindsay Jenkins, presiding over the Northern District of Illinois, granted the motion to dismiss the case, siding with the defendants. Reactions to the ruling. Chicago's mayor, Brandon Johnson, expressed his satisfaction with the court's decision, emphasizing that the safety of the city improves when law enforcement prioritizes the needs of its residents. He stated, "This ruling reaffirms our long-held belief that Chicago's welcoming city ordinance is both lawful and essential for public safety. The city cannot be forced to comply with the Trump administration's reckless and inhumane immigration policies." Governor Pritzker also celebrated the ruling, taking to social media to declare, "Illinois just triumphed over the Trump administration in federal court." Cook County State's Attorney Eileen O'Neill Burke praised Judge Jenkins' decision, commending the efforts of the attorneys from her office. She remarked, "The Trump administration's persistent attempts to coerce local communities into adopting their preferred policies are not only illegal, but also contrary to our values and our ability to effectively combat crime. It is crucial for victims and witnesses to feel safe coming forward, just as we are obligated to hold offenders accountable. Our primary responsibility is to seek justice, advocate for victims, and ensure our communities are safe from gun violence. Today's ruling is a step towards achieving these objectives." The Justice Department and the Department of Homeland Security have not yet responded to requests for comments regarding this ruling. Background context. This lawsuit is part of a broader pattern, as the Trump administration has initiated multiple legal actions against various state and city policies perceived as obstructing immigration enforcement. These lawsuits have targeted cities like Los Angeles, New York City, Denver, and Rochester, New York, and even included actions against 4 cities in New Jersey earlier this year. Chicago, a city with a strong Democratic leaning, has been recognized as a sanctuary city for many years and has strengthened its sanctuary laws multiple times, particularly during Trump's first term in 2017. Notably, that same year, then-Governor Bruce Rauner, a Republican, enacted additional statewide sanctuary protections, which put him at odds with many in his party. Looking ahead, it is important to note that there is no universally accepted definition of sanctuary policies or sanctuary cities. Generally, these terms refer to limitations on local cooperation with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, which is responsible for enforcing U.S. immigration laws across the country. While ICE sometimes seeks assistance from state and local authorities, many cities, including Chicago, have opted to limit such cooperation to protect their communities. What are your thoughts on this ruling? Do you believe that sanctuary laws help or hinder public safety? Share your opinions in the comments below. Judge dismisses DOJ lawsuit against Illinois and Chicago over sanctuary city policies. In a stunning blow to the Trump administration's immigration crackdown, a federal judge has dismissed a high-profile lawsuit against Illinois and Chicago, rejecting the government's attempt to invalidate their sanctuary city policies. This decision raises critical questions about the limits of federal power and the rights of states to protect their residents. But here's where it gets controversial. Can the federal government truly force local authorities to enforce immigration laws against their will? Let's dive into the details and explore why this ruling has sparked such intense debate. On Friday, U.S. District Judge Lindsay C. Jenkins for the Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division delivered a decisive ruling, stating that the Trump administration lacks standing to challenge state and local laws that limit cooperation with federal immigration enforcement. In her opinion, Judge Jenkins clarified that these sanctuary policies do not regulate Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE operations or infringe on the rights of private individuals working with ICE. This distinction is crucial, as it undermines the administration's argument that such policies obstruct federal efforts. The judge decision went further, dismissing the case in its entirety without prejudice and rejecting the administration's attempt to sue individual defendants, including Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, and other local officials. She also ruled that compelling Chicago and Illinois law enforcement to assist with deportations would violate the Constitution, specifically the 10th Amendment, which prohibits the federal government from commandeering state resources. Since returning to office, President Trump has aggressively targeted sanctuary cities, arguing that their policies endanger public safety. In February, the administration sued Illinois and Chicago, claiming their Welcoming City Ordinance and the Illinois Trust Act intentionally obstruct federal immigration enforcement. The lawsuit alleged that these policies hinder communication between federal and local law enforcement, making it harder to deport undocumented immigrants and keep Americans safe. But this is the part most people miss. Is the federal government overstepping its authority by dictating how states and cities handle immigration? Governor Pritzker celebrated the ruling, tweeting, "Illinois just beat the Trump administration in federal court. Their case challenging the Bipartisan Trust Act was dismissed. Unlike the president, we follow the law and listen to the courts." Meanwhile, the White House countered that sanctuary cities like Chicago compromise public safety. "The government has a duty to protect American citizens," said spokesperson Abigail Jackson. "We look forward to ultimate vindication on this issue." This case is just one of several legal battles the Trump administration has waged against Democratic-leaning states and cities. Earlier this year, the Justice Department sued New York City over its sanctuary policies, citing an incident where an off-duty Customs and Border Protection officer was shot by undocumented immigrants. Similar lawsuits have been filed against Colorado, Los Angeles, and New York State, which allows undocumented immigrants to obtain driver's licenses under its green light law. But here's the bigger question. Are sanctuary policies a necessary shield for immigrant communities, or do they undermine federal authority and public safety? The debate is far from over, and this ruling only adds fuel to the fire. What do you think? Is the federal government overreaching? Or are sanctuary cities going too far? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. Your perspective matters.